All right. All right, everybody. Welcome to Coffee Chat with Just a Guy. Got my coffee here. Got my best friend here, Alejandro.
Hello.
We're going to go ahead and just have a conversation and hope you guys enjoy. So we're just going to go ahead and just go off with it. So, how's it going so far?
It's going good.
Yeah, this
Yes.
morning is fine.
Yeah, didn't do too much. I woke up and kind of woke up early. Usually I sleep in late and I don't know.
Mm,
Just slept pretty good last night. You?
I'm all right. I slept okay, I guess. But I was wondering, we haven't really hung out in a minute. Like we hang out all the time, but I mean we haven't hung out like with music and not lately. The past couple, well, we did, but you haven't really been picking any music. I
Right.
noticed. So what are you listening to these days, like in the car?
Just usually my regular playlist. Just
Are you still listening to the same stuff as from before, or have you changed it up recently?
no, just the same thing. I don't know.
Like
Just what
who's
I
that?
usually Doja Cat, Nicki Minaj, Drake. I don't know what I listen to.
Yeah. Because I'm jamming. Obviously, I'm playing a lot of Carol G, Becky G all the time. Um, and mix it up here and there, but those are the ones I'm playing the most. Um, but yeah, I was thinking last night I was thinking about this conversation we had the other day. Was it last night? When we had this conversation last night, I think
Was it just me and you, or me and you and CJ?
it was just you and I.
That was the day before yesterday.
But it was over the phone. Wasn't it last night?
Or it depends on what conversation you're talking about.
So we were talking. You were asking me. I showed you an old picture of me, and you were asking me how I felt back
Oh,
then.
that was yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I figured we can go ahead and pick up on that really quick. Um, because there was more to it than that than just the quick answer that I gave you, I guess.
hmm
Um, so you had asked me how I felt back then when I was, I guess, thinner, because I was a lot thinner than I am now,
hmm
and before I had gained all this weight. And do I think you asked me, do I feel the same still now or something, right?
Yeah, if you still feel the same like now than what you did back then when you were a lot
But you
thinner.
were talking about specifically about how I felt about my body, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Or just like in general, depression and whatever you were going through. Because I know you've been going through depression for a long time. So
Yeah.
what you're going through right now, is it the same as, were you feeling the same as back then too?
Yeah.
Like did you just let it take over more, and it just, because I feel like when I first met you, you had it more controlled. Like you had your moments,
Yeah.
but you would snap out of it. But
Yeah. I think when you first met me, it's about 5 years ago, somewhere around there, 6 ago. So it was just at the tail end of COVID, I think.
yeah.
And I was I was just starting. My depression was just starting again. It was a new cycle of
hmm
depression, and so that's probably why you hadn't noticed what you didn't. What you noticed wasn't the same as what you noticed later down the line
hmm
because it started to snowball.
But was it like a different depression, or was it something that you've always dealt with?
It's
You
something that
know.
I've always dealt with, and it just cycles. But I have to now it's under control.
hmm
So if it comes in, then I know how to like let it just kind of go. Especially now that I'm on meds and I see my therapist, you know, regularly and stick to that. I see my life coach, and I think those things help. They help me at least.
Do you believe that there's like different types of depression? Like a person can have different types of depression?
I'm sure there has to be different types of depression. I'm not a doctor, so I'm not going to say I'm not going to say if there is or not. But do I believe that there is? Yeah, I believe that there probably is
So
different
from your
types.
experience, from what, like back then, like when you were thinner, the depression you were going through is still the same as now.
Yeah,
Like the exact same kind of depression, just
right.
whatever depresses you.
It's something that happened. It's just kind of like started to happen when I was younger, and it just kind of has grown into this thing that I deal with on a regular basis.
Well, I'm
So
talking
it's
about more like your feelings. Like, do you feel the same? Like when you, whatever feelings you go through in your depression, are they the same feelings as back then as it is now, or are they different?
no, I think I still deal with the same feeling,
The
the same
same
thought
thing?
patterns.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I start to think about loneliness, and that's kind of where
Right.
my mind always goes to is, who am I
Mm-hmm.
spending time with? Who am I not spending time with? Why am I not spending time with anybody? Um, why isn't anybody coming around? And
Yeah.
and that's kind of like I start to like cycle around that and circle the drain with it, so to speak. Um, but yeah, I think it's based on like just what I'm used to. I'm more social, and then not being social kind of affects me.
Yeah.
So now that I'm dealing with being semi-handicapped or whatever you want to call it, that I can't really walk that well. Um, but I plan to get through that. But for right now, it's hard for me to get out of the house and to do anything. So being social is a little difficult. It requires people to come here.
Yeah.
So um, I don't know. I guess it's I feel I still dealing with the same stuff. Um, but even then, like I think we were talking about how you mentioned like when you were at a different size, you were feeling like you were that wasn't enough or something,
Yeah.
right? And that's
Hmm.
kind of how it felt back then too. Like even though I was smaller, much smaller than I am now, I wasn't exactly happy. I mean,
Yeah.
I was happy in the sense that I was more mobile and able to do things, but I wasn't. I was. I don't think I was happy with myself yet, as far as my body went. I was just kind of thinking I still want to lose more weight. Um, this isn't enough, and I still doubted myself a lot,
Yeah.
and I don't know, just it wasn't. It's. I don't think it's easy for anybody when you're dealing with that, and I think a lot of us deal with it. I think we're our own worst critic.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like with me, it's all about trauma from growing up of why I have, like, I don't know, like where I'm not comfortable with myself, like look wise,
Hmm.
but is that something maybe why you felt like I guess you weren't, like it was never enough, like on how you looked, was because of trauma back then, like growing up, or is it just something, it's just you always had innerly just only intricately
No,
felt about yourself?
I dealt with my own things. I don't know if I want to consider my things trauma, or I just want to consider them things that I can't get over.
Hmm.
You know?
But just about yourself, like
Yeah.
nobody's ever made you feel.
It has to do with people who made me feel certain ways. I remember I still can't get over the fact, like I still always think about it. Like when I was a chunky kid back in the day, I remember in middle school there was this girl I bumped into in the hallway, and she looked back at me and she was like, "Ew,"
Yeah.
and I was just like, "Damn."
So
Like
like little, yeah. Okay.
that really hurt me. That's when I decided I was gonna lose this weight, and I started working out all the time. I did it
Hmm.
very unhealthy. I didn't do it the most healthiest way. So I was really eating very little and eating like healthy foods. It's kind of like salads all the time and half a can of tuna with no mayonnaise. Just kind of that was my meal.
Yeah.
Maybe some lettuce with it or something. But I was not eating. I was trying to not eat any carbs. I was only eating a little bit of carbs. But I lost all the weight, and and I had a different type of body back then. And even back then, like I still wasn't good enough for myself.
Yeah.
I was still thinking, damn, I want to get more muscular. I want to get this. I want to get that. I want to be tighter. I want to be more fit. My body's. I don't like this part of my body. I don't like that part of my body. Meanwhile, a lot of other people my liked how I looked, and they complimented me a lot. So I wasn't really having any problems with anybody not liking me at that time, or liking my looks or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But but for me, I was having problems with my own looks just internally. I was just not really satisfied, and I think we just sometimes we as humans just don't aren't satisfied.
Yeah.
Do you feel like it was like that for you, or?
I don't know. I don't know, as a child, I was never taught like hygiene or like appearance was important. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I was never taught that as a kid. So I just feel like, like I didn't care about how I looked until somebody pointed it out. And then when somebody, and this was like too, like elementary time too, like, so I was young. I was a kid, And I mean, I didn't care about it. I didn't really think that appearance was important, but uh but I remember, like, just growing up as siblings, like my older sister, she was in her teenage years, and she would tell me, get on to me, like, do something with your hair, or, brush your teeth, or, she would, like, I guess not pick on me about it, but she would like talk shit, like, to me about it. And so, like, I just started to do it, and then, like, my weight wise, I was always a big kid too. So, like, I loved music, and when I would watch, you know, music videos, or when I would watch, like, go buy CDs, and they had like a little exclusive like package where they show you how to dance, and I'd seen like what their bodies look like, I wanted to look like them, because I think as a child I've always liked to dance. I've always, like,
Mm.
music was always like a thing for me.
Yeah.
So, like, I wanted to be like them, and as soon as I, like, tried to work on my body and exercise, like, it wasn't something that was told to me. It was just something that I picked up. But it only lasted for a little bit, because I remember, like, my mom and, my siblings would put me down, like, like if I wasn't good enough for it. So, like, when I would, hear that, I guess, from the people, I guess, love me, or, supposed to, it kind of shut me down, and I just, like, stopped. You know what I mean? Like, I stopped, like, working out, or I stopped dancing, or I stopped, just trying to look good or feel good in my appearance. So
Yeah.
it's just like little trauma like that, like, that I don't know. And I've always been just like a, not like big, but I've always been, a chunky or stocky guy, and, it's just
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't know. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I've always wanted like a nice, fit physique, and not just to, impress somebody, like, just for me, because I've never been the person to try to want to be something or look some kind of way because of somebody, especially in school. Like, in school, like, I was, I knew a lot of people, but I wasn't popular. But I did talk to a lot of people, and I was never the one to follow what other people did. Like, as children, like, I was always different. So, and I feel like I got picked on a lot, because
Mm.
I would do my own thing while everybody else was just doing what the next trend or the next popular thing was. And I remember back then, like, I did used to wear big baggy clothes, but then I started to wear like fitted clothes, like, fitted pants and fitted shirts where they fit me perfect. And I remember, like, a lot of people were like, "Oh, that's gay, that's gay, that's gay."
Mm.
And, like, now in this generation, that's what they all wear. They wear these tight ass pants and these tight ass shirts, and then it's just like,
Yeah.
I feel like
That's like a whole other
sometimes,
topic there, and that's just a side note. But that's a
yeah, like, I feel like sometimes I was born in like a different. I was supposed to be. I guess the style that I had going on was different from, like, whatever I did back then. I felt like I used to do as a child, which I thought was cool, or I looked good, was not that back then, but it is now, which is weird, because, I used to wear. I've always had curly hair, and,
mm-hmm.
there was times where my mom couldn't afford to give me a haircut, so, I would put two and two together, and, I would put gel in my hair, and it was just like curlies everywhere. But then that wasn't it back then. What was it was like the nice fades and the military cuts and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. And they would just think like, oh, you're letting your hair grow out, like that's like that's not cool. But now you see all these other little boys, they fucking look like mushrooms. Like they have their hair all poofed out and they had the little cuts. And I don't know. It's weird how things I did back then are like the styles are popular now. Like I don't know.
Yeah, the younger generation, they have a different style than what we did. They have a style that it wasn't really it wasn't really like something that we can get away with back then. That and just be cool with it. We was kind of like looked down upon it back then. Now they can be more. I think people can be more free now with how they look. What you think?
I don't know. I think that was just a 90s thing because in the 70s and 80s, they had their own style too. And I feel like men would wear a little bit of feminine stuff too.
Oh yeah, well, we had our crop tops and well, not I'm not gonna say we because I wasn't really I was a kid back then, but there was a crop tops for the guys. They would wear they would wear tight clothes too, tight
Yeah.
pants and
So it's
whatnot.
just, and then their hair was long. They had the mullets,
Yeah,
which are coming back now. And
but really quick back to the weight thing you were mentioning. Um, I guess when you were just it was more recent that you were at a lower weight and you were feeling like you were really big. And then you look back and you said you look back and you're like you weren't.
well, if you consider recent as being like 10 years,
I mean,
11
yeah,
years
that's what I
ago.
mean. Recent. I mean, I'm saying like it was recent as like not like from like when we were kids.
Yeah, no, like maybe like 11, like maybe 11, 12 years ago. Yeah, I wasn't that big. I was like probably 180.
Hmm.
But I don't know. I just thought because I wear a large shirt or extra large shirt that I was big.
Yeah. So I have this friend who was telling me, I think it was yesterday or something, or this morning maybe. Um, they 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 were bigger before, and then they have now lost some weight because of some medical reasons and for health. So they're a lot smaller now, but they feel like to them they feel they were more appealing and sexier
Hmm.
when they were bigger and they were like they had a chunky body. Um, and some people are into that. Hey, thick is in, thick can be in sometimes. For other people, and you know, and I think everybody's beautiful, but I think that's an interesting thing to unpack. Is like, okay, so you thought you're more you were sexier then, but now you lost weight, and now you don't feel like that, but you have to stay in this new weight class for your health. So you don't. So this person may never feel that maybe that sexiness again that they felt back then. And I just wonder like what that must be like. I don't know,
Hmm. I don't know. I mean,
because that's the opposite of I guess kind of what we're dealing with. We're more like I want to get small, want to get smaller,
yeah.
but I don't know. That was I don't know. That was a conversation I had with him. Or I think it was yesterday or something.
Who is him?
My friend Mo.
Oh, okay, okay. So he felt that way,
Yeah. Well, he feels that way.
or he
Yeah.
feels that way now.
Yes.
I guess, I mean, it just depends. Like like I mean, that's just probably something he's dealing with, like within himself. Like I think, I don't know, like that's what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid of like I'm gonna lose the weight. Like yeah, but sometimes I feel like, well, if I lose the weight, like I don't want all this excessive skin. Like you know what I mean? Because then that's what I'm afraid that I'm gonna feel too. Like, well, I should have just stayed big. Like, I was better when I was thicker.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I guess you just never know, but until it happens to you. But I understand that. Like, I can get where he's coming from on that part. Like, because I haven't even experienced that, but I still fear that. Like, you know what I mean? But I mean, there's alternatives where you can save up money to get a tummy tuck and to get rid of all that excessive skin. But
Yeah.
you have to be willing to save all of that money to do that.
Yeah. That definitely would be my thing. I would definitely want to have like the skin removal surgery and tummy tucks, whatever you want to call it, just to be, back, feeling back like to myself
Yeah.
again. But I don't know when we were talking about it with him, it didn't seem like that was his issue. It was that was his his stance. He was more like he liked being bigger. So it wasn't even about just like
Mm,
any excess skin or anything to him. It was just like he really enjoyed being a bigger guy,
yeah.
and that's, I don't know. I guess that's pretty good to have that confidence, and and be, for anybody to have that confidence. Um,
Maybe he could be a bigger guy in a muscular way.
yeah, I don't know if that's what he wants to do, but we haven't really discussed that avenue. But the
Hmm.
avenue that he's talking about right now is just that he's like, that's where he was, and that's how he felt sexy back then. Um, but now he's worried about his health, and he just wants to go ahead and keep keep his healthy lifestyle, which is going to keep him at this size now. But yeah, so I don't know. Um,
Is it hot in here?
it
I
feels a
feel like it's
little
hot,
stuffy.
or I don't know. Yeah, like maybe it's because it's humid outside. I don't know.
It is, isn't it? It's like I saw it was foggy from the window earlier
When I went
this
outside
morning.
earlier, it wasn't, but it is wet outside. It's supposed to be like 76 degrees. I don't know. It's
Mm,
supposed to, I guess, warm up, but it
yeah,
doesn't feel cold outside at all. It feels like, yeah, like humid. Yeah, maybe that's why it feels in here. Is the
yeah,
AC on?
I think so.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah. Um. So yeah. Well, I think that's gonna go ahead and wrap it up for us for today. I
Okay.
think that's good, and I hope you guys join us again for coffee chat with just a guy, and hopefully you guys will see Alejandro again another time. Stay tuned for other guests, and we will see you soon. Stay tuned.